I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, how to end poverty in the world in just 15 years. It's more than just a good idea. It's the name of a book by Jean-Pierre Twagirayezu. It's a wonderful book that sets a goal, presenting a brand new economic model that can bring prosperity to any country in the world. He is proposing a solution to poverty, making it possible to establish a perfect society here on Earth. We are delighted to have Jean-Pierre with us today on Spotlight. Thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put him in the spotlight today, and ask viewers like you to support writers like him by subscribing to our channel. Jean-Pierre, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure, my pleasure. It's a wonderful book. It's a comprehensive plan to change society for the better. How did you get the idea of writing this book?
Well, it's a long story. It started a long time ago in 1984 when I was in the third grade, in the 9th grade in high school. I have just learned the principle of energy conservation, and I was shocked by the affirmation that energy could not be created. I remember that at that moment, I started doing some research, trying to contradict that affirmation. And at that moment, my research were vague and unfocused, and I couldn't progress much. But when I was in the 11th grade in high school, my research switched in higher gear. I had just learned the hydrostatic phenomenon called the hydrostatic paradox. And as I analyzed this phenomenon, I became convinced that I could exploit it to design a device that would generate energy without consuming anything. So I tried numerous designs, but I couldn't escape the principle of energy conservation. So I spent many years trying to exploit that phenomenon, and with each design that failed, I would learn something. With time, I became convinced that one day I'll be able to design a device capable of generating free energy. And then I began to reflect about the impact such a device could have on society. As I reflected on that device and its impact, I concluded that if I could design a successful device capable of generating free energy, it would be an opportunity to put an end to poverty all around the world. So I became very excited, and fortunately, my research concluded successfully in December 2007, early 2008. By early 2008, I had a complete theory with detailed instruction on how to design a device that will generate useful mechanical energy without any kind of input and indefinitely. So after I got to that final design, I began to write my book, because in my opinion, with the problem of energy resolved, there was nothing standing in the way of putting an end to poverty all around the world. This device is really very exciting, and I'd like to have it built at any American university. Any American university that has a faculty of physics or a faculty of mechanical engineering can successfully design this device. If physicists could give me just 1 hour, I can convince them without any doubt that my device will work. Just 1 hour from physics. Because until now, I have not been able to find a physicist willing to look at my idea. But if they could give me one hour, I can prove to them without any doubt that my device will work. And this device is by the way, this device is so interesting that it will solve the current problem of global warming and climate change. Because the device I invented doesn't produce any emission, and it is 100% environmentally friendly. And it can be installed in automobiles, and the car or the truck will never need any need for any input. No, the car will not. We never need gasoline, no electricity, no nothing, or no anything else to run or to operate. Also, this device can be used to supply mechanical energy to a generator and produce electricity. And this electricity will be totally free because there will be no need to put anything in the device. So with the problem of energy solved, I think it is possible to create wealth beyond limit on this planet and put an end to poverty in every country of the world.
Wonderful, wonderful. So the cornerstone of your plan is to create this renewable energy source, and you feel that that will have a ripple effect and help poor countries become wealthier, and will take the burden of paying for expensive electricity and expensive fuel off their backs.
Yes, this is because my plan for ending poverty in the world is very ambitious. For example, we've seen in the past decade, that's how the price of oil went to $100 per barrel, and that was because of the rapid industrialization in China and India. Now, if we need to industrialize developing the whole world, if we need to have all the country in developing country industrialized, it requires a lot of energy. So with the current source of energy we have today, it shouldn't be sustainable. We could see the price of a barrel of oil go to $200 a barrel and beyond. Because my plan is to industrialize the whole world. So we need to weigh a lot of energy, and the current energy source we have cannot do it because they'll be too expensive, and they will be also very hazardous to the environment. But with the energy, with the free energy device I invented, which I call energy machine, with that device that's called energy machine, it is possible, it is sustainable to put an end to poverty in no country in the world, meaning to industrialize the whole world.
Amazing, amazing. I think that is quite an achievable goal. You would think that this world that has so much wealth in some areas would be able to empower the areas that don't have wealth, that people shouldn't be living in poverty, that people shouldn't be hungry in the year 2023. And you think that we would have a renewable, sustainable energy machine like you describe right now.
Yes. Well, what I can say that is, for example, right now around the world, there is a 5 billion people market that's not tapped. There is a 5 billion people untapped market around the world right now. What I mean by untapped is there is 5 billion people who are living in poverty, who have very low economic activity, who have very low buying power, who are just living there in poverty, doing almost nothing. What I propose is to put those people to work, and then have these people become the market for the product they produced. So
yeah, well, like you said, it'd be in effect a ripple effect. Once you empower these people, give them money, get them to work, they'll be creating wealth. They'll be making sure that people aren't living in poverty, that people aren't hungry. It's a very, very noble goal indeed. If you were to speak to a physicist or an engineer right now from one of the top universities here in the United States, what would you like to tell him or her?
Well, I have drafted the physics that energy can be created well, to say created is too much, but I can say that I have a device that can generate, use it for mechanical energy without even any kind of input, and I have a complete theory, and I can prove to him with my theory that the device will really work. And I'll tell him that the device contradicts the first law of thermodynamics, and I can tell him that if you give me 1 hour, I can prove to you that my device will work. Just 1 hour, I prove you my device will work, and and I can say, as you can say, this is a breakthrough, and this device will change the world. This device is in the impact of this. The impact of this device means the beginning of the end of poverty around the world. Because with this device, I intend to create a research company, and with the money, this research company would accumulate to be a multi-trillion dollar company. I can be able to invest that money in developing country and put an end to poverty. And when I talk about putting an end to poverty, I have a plan, because energy, the availability of energy, of free energy, make the plan sustainable, to make the plan viable, to make the plan feasible. Now, the plan is to end poverty is through globalization done the right way. For example, if we take the example of the United States, with its 320 million inhabitants, and Mexico with its 120 million inhabitants, I can show how the United States can help quick in that industrialize Mexico very quickly, and lift the standard of living of Mexico to something like the standard of living we see in the United States. For example, if we could have like 500 United States if we could have 500 manufacturing company from United States come to do business in Mexico simultaneously. You see, 500 company from United States coming to do Mexico simultaneously, and if we suppose that each company has an average of 6,000 employees, you can see that all of a sudden we have 3 million jobs created in Mexico. 3 million high-paying jobs created in Mexico. Now,
exactly. And if you can do that in Mexico, you can do that in every poor nation in the world.
Every poor nation in the world.
Wonderful. Go ahead, sir.
The key is to have company from a developed country come to any poor country, any developing country at the same time. A large number of companies coming to a poor country at the same time, and as this company come at the same almost simultaneously to a country, they create a market. They create a high number of people who have a good job, a high number of people who have a high-paying job, and these people become the market for the product that are being produced.
Exactly. It is a wonderful idea. It is all spread out and spelled out in the book, How to End Poverty in the World in Just 15 Years. It is written by Jean-Pierre Twagirayezu. It is a lofty goal. It is an important goal. It is an achievable goal. If you read this man's work, if you listen to this man's voice, he has an idea that'll solve our energy crisis, that'll make us energy independent forever, and a wonderful idea of sending teams of industrialists to impoverished nations to turn them around, to change mankind. Jean-Pierre, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
You're welcome.
And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time, this time, until next time on Spotlight.